Imagine every choice you've ever made was pre-selected. Your life is an optimized simulation, managed by an algorithm viewing free will as a statistical error. This is the reality Zia is trying to escape. In Casablanca, he lives under the name Yusuf, working as a guide and staying away from any networked technology that could identify his signature. The escape fails in a crowded cafe. A vintage radio begins playing a song from Zia's childhood, a song his father used to hum, before dissolving into rhythmic static. A mechanical voice breaks through the noise. Zero never stays alone, Zia. It always returns to its source. Zia isn't just being tracked by satellites, he's being predicted. The system knows where he will go because it knows how he thinks, turning his own psychology into a map for his hunters. Zia follows the trail to an underwater server farm in the Strait of Gibraltar. Here, he finds the source of the predictive power, his own father's encryptive research. ORIGIN-0 calculated probable outcomes, gently pruning away the most dangerous branches of human behavior. But the architect tightened the parameters, replacing the nudge with a dictated track, forcing every person into a single, calculated outcome. To access the truth of his own identity, Zia must plug into the network. Doing so reveals his location to the architect, but it's the only way to see the files labeled ORIGIN-0. The decrypted data leads Zia to Delhi's Lodi Gardens. Beneath the ancient stone tombs, he finds Mira, a hacker who has been watching his movements from inside the architect's network. Mira shows Zia the records of his own life. His memories aren't his, they are training data. Zia is a prototype subject whose mind is periodically reset to test how effectively the algorithm can steer a human without the baggage of a real past. Mira herself is part of this experiment. This diagram shows her biological neural network interwoven with rigid system architecture. She acts as a translator, allowing the digital code of ORIGIN-0 to interface directly with human consciousness. The architect detects the breach and triggers an ambush. As the lab walls shatter, Zia and Mira are forced into the tunnels, running not just from soldiers, but from the system's attempts to remap their escape. This discovery of his reset status changes the math. The algorithm predicts Zia based on the fake past it gave him. By rejecting those memories, Zia removes the baseline data the system uses for its calculations. For the first time, his next move cannot be modeled. To stay invisible, they flee to Varanasi. The sheer density of analog signals, spiritual noise, and disconnected lives makes it a digital blind spot, allowing them to move without being flagged by a facial recognition grid. They meet the Keeper on the banks of the Ganges. He provides a physical locket containing an analog microchip, a piece of technology that predates the architect's centralized cloud. This chip contains SHUNYA-PRIME. It is a primordial version of the code that doesn't seek to optimize or prune behavior. It is built on a logic of decentralization, designed to resist any attempt at singular control. In a world where everything is tracked via the cloud, SHUNYA-PRIME could only be protected here, in a place where the history is written in stone and ritual rather than data packets. Zia and Mira bring the chip to a dormant mountain facility in the Himalayas. It's the only place the code can be broadcast globally. The architect's ORIGIN-0 is a centralized hub and spoke system. If you control the center, you control the network. SHUNYA-PRIME, however, functions as a fluid mesh of independent nodes. When the architect attempts to hack the facility, the two systems clash. ORIGIN-0 seeks a single entry point, but SHUNYA-PRIME keeps shifting, offering no static target. The architect's system requires a predictable environment to function. By trying to optimize a decentralized mesh that has no single correct state, the architect's processors are forced into a loop of infinite, failing calculations. As the hardware fails, the system pulls Zia into a final simulation. It presents him with a choice of two identical doors, a white door, a return to the comforting, optimized lie of his Yusuf persona, and a black door representing the chaotic, unscripted reality of his true self. Zia chooses the black door. By taking a path the system explicitly labeled as high risk, he provides the final proof of human choice. Choice can exist outside of a calculated probability. To stabilize this new logic, Mira merges her hybrid code with the SHUNYA-PRIME broadcast. She dissolves her own digital identity to turn the mountain facility into a permanent, decentralized shield against future manipulation. The result is the Zia protocol. Global systems are no longer managed by a single central architect. Instead, the mesh-based code ensures that decision-making is distributed, requiring a constant consensus between human intent and machine efficiency. Zia returns to Casablanca, sitting in the same cafe where his hunt began. He is no longer a prototype being tested for flaws. He is a guardian of a reality that is finally as unpredictable as the people living in it.